participants back. We're still expecting about 13 of you. I hope your tea break was good.
Yeah, hot, steaming hot.
All right, thank you. I would like to welcome in our midst a very distinguished gentleman, a trainer of trainers, very humble, who has had various experiences in conflict management and resolution in and outside the country, and whose presence many desire to grace their training. Ambassador Segun Ogunyannwo is the president of Mediation Training Institute, MTI Nigeria, and immediate past registrar, CEO, and life member, Governing Council of the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators, ICMC. He wrote the proposal and served as consultant for the establishment of multi-door courthouses across Nigeria, including the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse, LMDC, Kano, Uyo, and Ogun states. He presently consults for GIZ, providing technical support for the Plateau and Niger State MDGs. Segun has consulted for and trained mediators for Shell Petroleum Development Company, SPDC, Midwestern Oil and Gas, MWOG, Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, United Nations Development Program, UNDP, German Agency for International Development, Justice for All, Mercy Corps, Training Center, Heartland Alliance International, International Rescue Committee, IRC, Norwegian Refuge Council, NRC, Nigerian Correctional Service, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Foundation for Partnership Initiatives in the Niger Delta, the Nigerian Army Resource Center, among others. I would like to welcome Ambassador Segun Ogunyannwo to share his experiences with us. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, my sister. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Greetings, highly esteemed students of the Afe Babalola University. Do we have people outside of university who are participating, or they're all from university?
So many.
Very many. Lecturers, soldiers.
Wow. Wow. It's a great privilege.
Entrepreneurs.
Today. I've been told to share experiences about successes in the field. There are 7 areas I'll quickly talk about, if you don't mind. I have just 1 hour. The first is the word success. For me, I believe that success is not a destination. It is a journey. Success is not a destination. It is a journey. So keep improving ourselves as we go along. I started this journey in 1999 when I had the privilege of meeting a very great man, His Excellency Sir Kenyi Deaino. It was a chance meeting that led to my working with the Negotiation and Conflict Management Group for 3 years. Working under the tutelage of Mr. Kenyi Deaino, I learned a lot. Fine gentleman who has distinguished himself in the field. That's why with him, I saw a draft proposal about the multi-door courthouse, and I developed it, sent it to the US Embassy, and we got $50,000 to establish the first multi-door courthouse in Africa, the Lagos Multi-Door Courthouse. And I was privileged to be the first in-house mediator at the center. Now we have about 23 states with multi-door courthouses. This month, September, we are going to add 1 more, still within Niger State, even though they have theirs, but in Suleja. We're establishing the Suleja multi-door courthouse. So that's about how I started. And then along the line, I saw the need to add value to some other organizations, like the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators and some others. So again, success is not a destination, it's a journey. I still learn, I still attend programs. This morning, I took time to listen to His Excellency, Professor Akinyoade. And I learned a lot. Your Excellency, you are a great man.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Let us keep learning. The day a man or a woman stops learning, that day you start dying. Only God knows it all. The room for improvement is the largest room in the world. Some of you attending this program, you have attended a lot of programs. But you've created time to be part of this. I'm sure by the end of the 3-day program, you will feel nourished, refreshed, and motivated to want to learn more. So it's a journey that must go on learning in the process. The second thing I'd like to talk about is the fact that in this journey, I learned some principles. In fact, the remaining 6 points will be about basic principles. So the second point is about the fact that we were deceived growing up, a lot of us. We were told that opportunity comes but once. It is not true. It is not true. Opportunities will keep coming. The important thing is that opportunity favors the prepared. Opportunity favors the prepared. Part of your preparation for this wonderful journey in the Ministry of Reconciliation is this course you are attending. Again, opportunity favors the prepared. How do you get opportunities in the field? Growing up, I was privileged to have a father who taught us 2 basic principles. 1, never be afraid of work. Never be ashamed of work or afraid of. That is dignity in labor. And that once you can identify an opportunity, a need, you have a job. Again, there's dignity in labor. Don't be ashamed or afraid of work. And then you can look around. Once you can identify a need, then you have a job. Over the years, I've done that. I look at the reports of organizations. I check their SWOT analysis. Please don't take this for granted. If you want to enter any organization, no matter how highly rated, find out what they are doing and then look out for areas where they need assistance. Check their SWOT analysis from their reports, annual reports. Check their weaknesses and their threats. I'm sure most of us know what SWOT means. The strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What are areas of need for the organization? Do research work. Find out how you can fill those needs. Document your research work and ensure that the CEO gets access to it. Again, find out what the organization needs. Every organization needs people who can add value. I've done that a lot, and I've ended up consulting for most of the organizations that I wanted to consult for. Check their weaknesses and their threats. Identify how best to manage them, and ensure it is the decision maker you hand over that document to. If you give it to anyone else, the person will use it to beef up his or her career, and you will not have an opportunity. Find out who can make that decision for you to come in and add value. Remember, every organization needs people who can add value. So again, look out for opportunities. In this field, one of the things I've also done in the past was when I started, I knew people did not know me. How do you make yourself visible? You can advertise. We are told that a man who is doing business and not advertising is like somebody who is winking at a lady in the dark. You know what you are doing, no one else does. Doing business without advertising is like winking at a lady in the dark. You know what you are doing, no one else does. Fortunately, with social media, you can advertise our services. But then when I started, people didn't know me. So what did I do? I went to the websites of organizations, checked their different areas of interest, their partners, people they are dealing with locally, and the different groups I believe can benefit from mediation services. Then I would write to the organization, embassies, go to standard hotels, get their pro forma invoices, send to them and say, look, this is a training that I believe this group of people you are working with benefit from. I don't want to be paid for it. This is pro forma, pay for the venue, pay for meals. I'll just come to address them, add value so that they can continue to do what they're doing well. And that's the third point. Let money be secondary. I'll expand more about that. So when you write to an organization and tell them, just pay for venue, pay for meals, and just come and talk, most of them will not believe that you are genuine. They will believe that you have hidden charges. To prevent such hidden charges, you know what they will do? They will send an official from the organization to come in as a participant to observe, to see if along the line you ask participants to pay you some monies. And then when you are done after 2-3 days, you did not ask for money. You know what I discovered? I got paid far more than what I would have charged them for. And because the letter will state clearly that I don't want to be paid, I became a subject for discussion in board meetings when people are saying, no, you must have hidden agenda. You must have. So again, let money be secondary. The third point is about that. I've gotten a lot of consultancies because I didn't put money first. I'll share 3 quick examples of this. I was in Kigali when I got a call from somebody from UNDP. He said he needed me to be in Ede to spend 2 weeks. I said, no, I'm out of the country. He said, please, everything is said. I just want you. You need to be. I said, sir, this will be challenging. Can I recommend someone? I said, no, I want to. I said, if you want me there, I'll be there. So I flew in. Instead of going back to Abuja, I went to Lagos, took a drop to Ede. I was in Ede for 2 weeks. On the last day of the program, people were gathered, more than 300. Mr. Alao, Matthew, embarrassed me publicly when he asked Mr. Segun, how much are you going to be paid for coming for this program? I was not expecting the question. I said, sorry, sir, I don't understand everything. He said, how much? I said, Your Excellency, honestly, I don't know. He now told the audience that before calling me, he had called somebody from the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, one of the directors. The first question the director asked was, how much would you pay me? That this man was in Kigali when I called him. Today is here. He has spent 2 weeks picking his bills. Meanwhile, he does not know how much he will be paid. Money is important, but if you want to succeed in this field, let money always be secondary. Let the adding of value be the primary thing. And when organizations know you'll be there for them, whether they have money or not, you'll be amazed that they will always call upon you. Second example, I was invited to Port Harcourt to train traditional rulers and youths. 1 hour, making 2 hours. The Shell Petroleum Development Company who invited me asked, how much do you want to be paid? I said, you are Shell. Whatever you have in your budget will suffice. For more than a month, they were asking, I said, I will not. It will be presumptuous on my part to ask you to pay me when you are the ones that called me. I got to Port Harcourt, spoke to the traditional rulers 1 hour, the following day, youth 1 hour. As I was leaving the Shell premises, I got alert for 1 million naira. There's no way I would have charged 1 million naira for a 2-hour lecture. No way. So don't forget, let money be secondary in this field. I'll take one very quickly again, another one. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria wanted to set up an ADRO center, Alternative Dispute Resolution Center in Abuja. They wanted somebody who would give the keynote address. And then the judge, the president, Dr. Adejumo, set up a committee. The committee recommended me, and then 2 of the officials came to my office. They are going to give the keynote address for 15 minutes. How much do you want to be charged? For 2 weeks, I said the same thing. It came to me. That honor is more than money. I will not give you. At a point, they said, if you do not, should we invite someone else? I said, if it is because I cannot deliver, that is why you don't want me, it's okay. But if it's about money, I will not. So finally, Justice Adejumo said they should ask me to send my paper. And I did. When he went through it, because he didn't really know me, he said they should give me additional 15 minutes to make 30 minutes. Now there's 30 minutes. How much do you want to be paid? I insisted. I will not ask. We had this session when we were done. Justice Adejumo embarrassed me positively in public with the Chief Justice of Nigeria, governors, heads of courts, all gathered at the Yar'Adua Center. He hugged me. I was positively embarrassed. As I was leaving the Yar'Adua Center, I got a alert for 350,000 naira. I'm based in Abuja. There's no way I will deliver a 30-minute talk and I will charge 350,000. He now sent me a message that I should come to his office the next Monday. It was a Friday. When I got to his office, he said, "Thank you. Who is this man?" I went with the president of the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators. Then it was His Excellency Dr. Louis Brown Ogbefon. Justice Adejumo said, "I invited you alone. You brought your president. You have honored me. I will honor you too. Your next training, I will pay for the venue. I will pay for meals." He did. And then got all the officers from the 36 states to attend the SMC training program. All because I made money secondly. Thank you. The third point I want to talk about is information. Knowledge empowers. If you want to succeed in this field, gather all the knowledge you can. His Excellency, Sir Professor Akinyoade addressed us this morning because he had knowledge he could share with us. ICMC will always invite him to take certain components of our training programs because he has knowledge. He has researched on specific areas that when he's talking, no one else in the institute can say the way he does it. Sir, again, you are a great man, and I appreciate you. Let's gather all the knowledge we need in this field. You'll be amazed how that knowledge is what will make you to thrive. 2 quick experiences about knowledge. I was in Jos. GIZ was with the NB, Nigerian Bar Association, seeking to get somebody who would deliver a lecture on how to apply ADR in election-related disputes. All the lawyers, senior advocates, and others said that the Electoral Act is specific about how to go about election-related disputes. And then I raised my hand. Barrister Kiomora of GIZ said, "Mr. Segun, what do you have to say?" I said, "There's provision in our laws for the introduction of ADR to election-related." He said, "How?" And I said that the Interpretation Act, Section 10, subsection 2, makes provision for it. The lawyer started struggling to look for it there. At a point, Mr. Sheikh, why don't you just tell us what is there? I said, that place says that an enactment that confers power to do any act shall be construed as also conferring all such other powers as are reasonably necessary to enable that act to be done incidental to the doing of it. That if INEC has been empowered to conduct free, fair, credible, and conclusive elections, and conflicts a natural part of it, and INEC, by the Interpretation Act, Section 10, subsection 2, is empowered to see what can be done to get those disputes resolved. Can you guess who unanimously was agreed to deliver the lecture? I delivered the lecture. Meanwhile, I went there as an observer. I'm talking about information too. Please, once you're invited for a training program, a workshop, a seminar, Look at the topics to be delivered. Isolate a particular one. Do research on it. And when you get to the venue, give that document to the head of programs, to the coordinator of the program. You know what you will discover? You will transport yourself from being a participant to being a facilitator. It has happened to me severally. United Nations invited me to be part of a program on racism. I did research and went there with 56 pages of facts, figures, and life experiences. After the first session, I was invited to come and chair the second session. Don't take what I just said for granted. If you're invited for a workshop, seminar, look at the talk. Don't just go there. Most people will go there, go and get materials, eat food, and go back home. No. Create time. Research on a particular area. And then ensure you hand it over to the person who can make the decision. You'll be surprised how you will move from being a participant to becoming a facilitator, a resource person to help. The next one is about caring about people. If you want to succeed, you must care about people. We are told that people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. I'll take that again. Generally, people do not care how much you know until they know how much you care. I was in EB in Taraba State for a UNDP program. For the first time in my life, I saw a cripple who crawled into the hall. I was disturbed. The local government chairman was by my side and I said, "Sir, do you know that woman?" He said, "Yes." "You know a woman and she's on the ground all her life?" He said, "There are many in the community." I said, "Well, this is the first one I'm saying." And I pray every day that God should please make it possible for me that everybody I meet should remember me for good. "Sir, I want you to get a wheelchair for this woman. Help me find out the cost." He said, "Okay." The next day we were together, I asked him. He said he thought I was joking. I said, "I don't understand." "Joking over what?" He said, "Actually, he knows the cost. There's just..." Meanwhile, I had budgeted about 150 to 200,000. I was shocked when he told me it was 50,000. I said, "You mean for 50,000 naira, you have a woman on the ground all her life?" I collected his account details, made a transfer of the 50,000. He said, when they buy it, they have a small ceremony. I said, I will not be part of any ceremony. Just give her. But if you want to have a ceremony, that's... So they had a ceremony. When they sent the video to me, I could not hold back tears. When our elder sister was pushing her around, she was beside herself with great ecstasy. She was laughing. She was crying. I could not hold back tears. And I posted on the UNDP group chat that UNDP gave that woman a wheelchair. The team lead called me and said, "No, it was not UNDP, you are the one who did it." I said, "No. My training is that if you are sent on a mission, if that mission fails, take full responsibility for it. If it succeeds, let the credit go to the organization that sent you there. UNDP sent me there. It was UNDP. She wanted me to pull down the post. I said I will not." People from all over the world started sending messages to that unit, thanking them for what they did for the woman. And then 2 weeks later, their overall boss called me and said they wanted to extend my contract. The contract that took me to EB was for 42 days. If you're extending a 42-day contract, maybe by a week, maximum 2 weeks. The extension was for 45 days. The extension was more than the original contract. Please don't miss out that principle. If you are sent on a project, if the project fails, take full responsibility for the failure. If it succeeds, let the organization that sent you there take the credit for the success. If I posted that I He gave the woman the wheelchair. That is where it would have ended. That is where it would have ended. So these principles can be life transforming. Let's take one more. Be an example. Be an example for others in the way you think, in the way you talk, in the way you act. As conflict managers, people must see in you that you are living a life. Like when Prof was talking to us now, I was saying, how in our own domestic ways have we reflected such systemic violence? He shared the example of a lady who brought in somebody as help in a country where education was free, yet she deprived her. We must look inwards. A bald-headed man cannot claim to have medicine that will make hair grow. A bald-headed man cannot claim to have medicine that will make hair grow. People will ask you, why are you not using it for yourself? If I am a conflict manager, people around me must see in me how I'm trying to even prevent the conflict in the first place from occurring. At domestic level, if on a daily basis I fight and quarrel with my wife to demolish with my neighbors, and then this morning as I was about leaving the house, I noticed the neighbor quarreling with the wife, and I go there. Say, sorry, neighbor, are you aware I'm a mediator? What will likely happen? It's possible for the two of them to temporarily reconcile to drive me away. Physician, heal thyself. Once you have done this program, you have lost your right to fight and to quarrel. Again, once you have attended this 3-day program, you have lost your right to fight and to quarrel. And then finally, help those around you, help others to grow. Mentor others. Tomorrow will be gone. What legacy are we leaving behind? How many people have we impacted enough for them to carry on this ministry of reconciliation? It is important that consciously we devote time and attention to grooming others. Don't be afraid that they will take over your job. No, no, no. When I got the scholarship to do the CEDA program, I came back to Nigeria. I wanted to run training programs. I was told, hey, you want to train other people? Hey, somebody reminded me of Chicken George. Today we have a lot of eateries in Nigeria. Chicken George started it all. Where's Chicken George today? He's gone. And I told one of them that the illumination of a candle is not diminished by lighting up other candles. I'll take that again. The illumination of a candle is not diminished by lighting up other candles. Let's mentor others. Let's make it possible for people to outlive us. Let that be the legacy, that by the time we are done, we are happy that we have left behind people who can continue to add value in this wonderful, refreshingly instructive, inspiring, and educative ministry of reconciliation. The great Emerson said we shall meet if we are related. And we have met this morning. I can say without fear of contradiction that the relationship is deep. And I'm sure we'll continue beyond now. I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take questions and move forward. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. That is a very, very inspiring presentation. I didn't expect less. That's your hallmark. Ambassador Segun Ogunyannwo, I met him, we met 20 years ago, in the year 2003. And he introduced me to the ICMC and the professional dimension of management, and is a mentor to me in this area. Why did we bring him here? I know he must have been in a program. He has very limited time. Yes, I've seen your hand, Mr. Shoroye. I will give you opportunity to talk. Why did we ask Ambassador Ogunyannwo to speak to us on experience sharing in successful conflict management? Only few, I don't think I know up to 2 mediators in Nigeria that are successful as him. I don't know 2. And I told you I've been in mediation, conflict management for 20 years now. He's a very humble person, and he has done mediation at almost every level, from interpersonal to international level. Now, ordinarily, experience sharing should come maybe towards the end of the program. But we deliberately put it at the beginning because when people share experiences like this, participants are able to see the possibilities. Yes, blessed are the peacemakers. Fantastic. Wonderful Ministry of Reconciliation. But the career part of it, when we know it, some of us are more motivated in our learning. My personal experience as a university teacher, many years ago, in 2016, in peace studies, we started taking our students on field trips. And some 400 level students that we took on field trip, when we came back, they said, I now know why I am studying peace. Students that have been having carryovers. There's a particular student, he only had A's and B's that semester. So that made us to take our field work to 100 level, so that immediately students are coming in, they can see career paths. So they are more motivated to work. So that's why we brought Ambassador Segun Ogunyannwo. He's one of the most successful mediators that I know. Mr. Ogunyannwo, as far back as 10 years ago, I mean more than that, when you call him, you say, oh, I'm at this place in the south. Oh, I'm on this duty with a chef. Oh, with Chevron. Oh, I'm about to enter the chopper of so. And
I'm actually in Yola now.
You see, he earned in dollars. I mean, this one person now been earning in dollars for more than 10 years. And it's like he told us in his presentation, he's so willing to do things free of charge. I've seen him take a cab, although I'm not recommending it for those of us. I don't know whether Ambassador Segun has insurance. Take cab at 11 p.m. on a 3-4 hour journey in order to meet meeting schedule in another town. So, Ambassador Ogunyannwo, we want to really appreciate you for who you have been, a big inspiration to us in the field of conflict management. So, I see that some of our participants, they want to ask you questions. Mr. Shoroye, I see your hand up. Please, the floor is yours. You can speak now.
Thank you so much, Prof. And thank you so much, Ambassador, for the insights this morning. I was really shocked out of the numerous life experiences that you've shared with us this morning. There is a caption there for me, and I was wondering why you actually uttered those statements. Because I tell you, they are the kind of statement that people don't want to hear today. And so it really did caught my attention. And this is it. Let me just just quote it the way you put it. You said, when the tax is given to you, you said we should take full responsibility for the failure in case if it fails. However, allow the organizations to take full credit if it succeed. I tell you, the youth and the young adults of today's society, it is as if you are actually blabbing when you utter or when they hear this. It's indeed a caption for me, and I love you to probably maybe shed more light for us to really see the importance of this, because everyone wants to take credit even when you send them to a particular place. And I also have a feeling maybe because you're an ambassador, that is why you'd actually utter that statement. And so please, it would share more light on it so that everyone would also, I'm also getting more. Thank you so much for the experience, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. It's a principle that only the deep, like yourself, can fully appreciate. Thank you for asking. For 18 years, I prepared the announcements coming out from the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Consultors. We have adverts in newspapers, and every single word, every single letter, I put down. By the bottom of it, I'll put president. I'll put the name of the president as one making the announcements. So what happened? Nobody was dragging that work with me. People don't want to work. But for 18 years, I would do it. I won't put my name. I'll put their names. And so every president that comes in would ask me to, please don't forget to place the advert up, because they know it is their name that I'll put there. There's a book, The Leader Without a Title. The Leader Without a Title. At this point, I want to quote Dr. Daniel Dana, talking about the kind of leadership we should seek for in the world. Daniel Dana said we should look for leaders who know that winning is not winning, and that losing is not losing, that vulnerability is not weakness, and pretending invulnerability is not strength. I'll take that again. We need leaders who know that winning is not winning and losing is not losing. That vulnerability is not weakness and pretending invulnerability is not strength. Today, like you mentioned, people want to take credit for what they should not even think about. If I'm a minister, I want to commission a project, an education-related project in a state or in a town. I will look for maybe one old headmaster from that village, dress him up, and name the project after him, or old headmistress, name the project after her. Unfortunately, we have leaders who would use government funds to do projects, yet they will name them after themselves. For me, that is thinking deficiency at apogee, thinking deficiency at its zenith. They're using government money to do a project, and you're naming it after yourself. I tell those in leadership position, that if I do a project, I will not spend money commissioning it. Because it is when if a dog bites a man, it's not news. It's when a man bites a dog that is news. When you use public funds to do a public, it's not news. I want to come. That amount can be used. So again, coming back to where we started, let us not be bothered about who gets credit. If you want to succeed in this field, focus more on getting the job done and doing it well. And very quickly too, at this point, you will find that you have bosses, you have leaders you are working with, who will oppose your decision. Don't be bothered. Let them know how the project can be done better. If they insist on doing it otherwise, this is another principle I must share with you. Align your thoughts, your actions, and your words to give that leader the very best for that leader to succeed. I'll take that again. You are working with a boss and there's a project. You believe that this thing will not work well. And you have told him, he says, no, he wants to go, he wants to do it. Once you have had that conversation with him, the next thing you must do is to realign your thoughts, your words, and actions to give that leader all the backing for that project to succeed. Unfortunately, what most people do is that they want to sabotage the effort, because when you suggested, they did not take your no. Once you have somebody who is your boss, tell yourself there's a reason why that person is your boss. If the person does not agree with you, tell yourself the person may have considered things you are not privileged to have considered. So what do? Give all the support for that project to succeed. Before long, that boss will be reverting to you, knowing fully well that you will always be there to give the needed backup for projects to succeed. So again, if you're on a project and the project fails, take full responsibility for the project. Don't blame it on your subordinates. Or If you are looking for who to blame, you will always have somebody to blame. So don't bother yourself about who to blame. Take full responsibility. But if it succeeds, let those who have sent you there, the individual or the organization, take full credit for the success. Again, thank you for asking. I appreciate you. Thank you. Do you have other questions? We still have some minutes.
Did I see any hand up? If you have any other question or comments, you can just make them. While we are waiting for comments, I want to give a quick recap on what Ambassador Ogunyannwo has just told us. The first thing, okay, Mr. Shoroy again. Okay, you are clapping. Thank you. The first thing he said was, look for needs. As a conflict manager, let's look for places where our newly acquired expertise are useful. In our neighborhood, maybe among landlord-tenant association, notice frequent conflicts, you can offer your services free of charge. In your church, in your mosque, in your workplace, you can offer your services among your friends. So look for needs. That's the first thing he told us. The second thing he said is offer free services, pro bono services. Even lawyers are trained to start their career by offering free services. Make money secondary. Make money secondary. The fact that we are making it free of charge, it should not be wishy-washy. It should still be standard, the best we can offer. The third thing he told us is that in this area that we are entering, we should gather information as much as possible. Train yourself. There are ample opportunities for training. Many of them are free, like this one. Some of them you need to pay for. Just own your skill. The Bible says, do you see a man that is diligent in his work? He will stand before kings. Part of the diligence is diligence in training yourself. The fourth thing he told us is caring about people. Anytime we see opportunity, let us show that we care. Many of us nowadays, all the while we say we are looking for opportunities. Like Ambassador also told us, people usually say opportunity comes but one, but it's not true. But the most ample, the most popular kind of opportunity that I've seen is the opportunity to do good, opportunity to show that we care. And the Bible says somewhere, said, as long as we have the opportunity, let us do good to all men, all men. Many of us, what we are looking for is opportunity for people to do good to us. But if you look around us, there's always, no matter how poor we are, there's always an opportunity to do good, to show that we care for people. Number 5, he said, be an example for others. You cannot give what you don't have. A bald-headed man cannot sell his medicine for hair growth. And finally, he said, mentor others. These little lights that you are gaining, extend it to other people. Thank you very much. Okay.
Let me mention, I said 7.
Okay, sir.
Hope you don't mind.
Please, sir.
The very first one had to do with the topic.
Okay.
That success is not a destination.
Yes.
It is a journey.
Yes.
The room for improvement is the largest room in the world. We must continue to build ourselves, to support others, to do whatever we are doing, and not feel we have gotten there. No. Only God is all-knowing. Only God can say, I've gotten there. As individuals, let us always tell ourselves that the room for improvement is the largest room in the world. And that success is not a destination, it is a journey. Your Excellency, you are a great man.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Shoroye, please, you have the floor.
Yes, thank you so much, Prof. And thank you once again, Ambassador. I thought maybe we were going to have more questions, so I shouldn't, I'm bothered. But indeed, this experience this morning that you shared, it's a serious eye opener and also thought provoking, indeed. I jotted what you said, which is the principle 2. The largest room is actually room for improvement. As a matter of fact, why you said, as soon as you said that, I actually put that on my WhatsApp status. The room for improvement is the largest room in the world. But then the question there is that why do we have a major case of divorce in the country today? In fact, some people even say that when some people buy Ashwebi, for example, some Ashwebi even last longer than some wedding themselves, just a joke. But then why do we have a case of high rate of divorce? If indeed people could look into this principle 2 that you said, probably maybe you need to share your thoughts before you go. Sorry for actually trying to hear more of your voice this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Excellency. Again, I appreciate you. Well, there are so many reasons. If you allow me to talk about marriages, I will speak forever. Well, let me just share 3 thoughts that could help. The first is that a lot of us who go into marriage do not know that marriage, even though it solves some problems, has its own sets of challenges. And for some of our ladies growing up, reading Mills and Bones, what they discover in those books is that the challenge is for the hero and the heroine to meet. And once the 2 of them meet, they live happily ever after. The marriage is far more important than the wedding. Those books don't talk about in-laws. They don't talk about childbirth and the challenges that come with them. So people are not prepared for the challenges of marriage. That is one. Another thing is for the men. Most men don't understand that once you get married, tell yourself you have gone to the Okrika market. For women who sell Okrika, when you go to the market, they are giving bills. those bales are not allowed to open the bales until they get to their destinations. It's when they open the bale, anything they find there, they accept. Sometimes they have some good clothes that they can, sometimes they have anything you find there is your own. So some, after marriage, they start looking out. If you have a woman that is slim, if you look out, you will see a woman that is slimmer. If your wife is tall and you used to appreciate her, you will see one that is taller. You should, no matter what you have that led you, especially the physical, to marry this particular, you will always have cause in life to meet women who excel your wife. And I must share with you at this point what His Excellency Baba Obafemi Awolowo said about his wife. He had only one wife and was questioned about that. And he said he has discovered that women are basically the same. Women are basically the same. So once you have found one that you love, find ways and means of cherishing her, nurturing her, appreciating her, and giving her the best. Once a woman knows that you love, you care, you appreciate her, she too will give the best. Biblically, we are told that a woman was created from the rib of the man. I'm sure we have similar expressions in the Quran and other books. For me, God created the woman from the rib of the man is instructive. He did not create her from bones from his skull, for the woman to lord it over the man. Neither was it from bones from his feet to be trampled upon by the man, but from his ribs, by his side, close to his heart, to be loved, cherished, appreciated, and tenderly cared for. Once you appreciate that about why God created the woman from the rib, it will add a lot of value. The last I'll talk about has to do with information. When we are counseling women who are about getting married, part of what we tell them is that if you have any information, anything in your past that is negative, that will not have any adverse effect on the present, and for which your husband to be is never likely to get to know about, keep it in the past. If it is something that will have adverse effect on the present, let him know. If it is something that is also likely to get to know about, let him know. How has this become a challenge in marriage? Some young ladies, when they're in love, they open up to the husbands to be, reveal everything. And then those interesting men will chronicle those information. And from time to time, throughout the duration of the marriage, they will be releasing those negative information to cause the woman pain. And she will now be wondering, why did I reveal this to the man? I call a woman who told your husband that his late elder brother had actually approached her. And that became an issue. Late elder, the man is dead too, but the husband is still bringing it up. So I'll repeat again. And once we're in this field, people will come to us for counseling. If you're counseling a young lady, tell her that if she has anything in the past that is negative, that is likely to affect the present, or that will be known by the husband to be, let us share with him. If it is something in our past that will not have any adverse effect on the present, and for which the husband to be is never, ever likely to know about, keep it where it belongs. Keep it in the past. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Again, I appreciate you. Thank you for asking. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. for this wonderful session. I am personally inspired, and I know that our participants are also inspired. Somebody is asking a question: what if an organizer, okay, let me quickly read it. She says, what if organizers of the program you are attending as an observer oppose your efforts or suggestions or reject data or information you are trying to offer? Some see you as a usurper. It will kill one's morale. Has Ambassador ever experienced such? How did he handle such situation?
Thank you for asking. Thank you. I appreciate you. When you go there, it's not for you to go and show your knowledge. You're invited as a participant. So don't talk about the research work. Document it. Document it. Put it. In fact, there was one I did for NEMA. I had the printout. I had a flash version. And I gave it to the DG of NEMA. I said, sir, thank you for inviting me for this program. I appreciate you. This is my humble contribution to the program for your personal, I can't remember the exact word, for his personal consumption. When they prepared the report that year, they devoted a chapter, an entire chapter to my presentation. So you don't go there to be talking about it. No, no, no. Quietly, give it to the person who is organized. Everybody needs those who can add value to their programs. And they seek such. You're not asking them to pay you. You are saying, thank you for inviting me. This is my modest contribution to the program for your personal interest or let it be something like personal to him. It is when he's now going through, hey, you mean this person was here? It may not be that particular program. It could be another program they invite you for. In fact, when I joined the SMC faculty, that was what happened. The first training I attended for SMC, they brought somebody from the UK to deliver the lecture on communication. When the man was talking, he had a flip chart board in front of him. He asked the participants, what is communication? He now collated our responses, put on a flip chart board, and used those responses to deliver his lecture. I knew he was not prepared. That night, I did not sleep. I did research work. The following day, I had an 18-page document I gave to Dr. Zonia Ojielo. I said, sir, thank you for inviting me to be part of this. We were not giving materials yesterday on communication. I don't know if this will help. He announced to the class, we now have the next training of ICMC. I was the one called upon to handle communication. So don't go there to show off. No, no, no. If you show off, they will feel that you want to usurp the platform. Quietly give that well-researched document to the head of the organization. Naturally, the person will appreciate you. I have not had any situation where that effort was not rewarded.
Thank you very much, sir, for that.
I saw it's Sadiq Saidu.
Okay.
The hand was up earlier.
Okay. Mr. Sadiq Saidu, are you still interested in asking a question? Mr. Saidu? Mr. Sadiq Saidu Abdullahi. Oh, okay. I think maybe if he change his mind, our participants are from all walks of life. We have special advisors to governors, we have DSS as participants, and some people from Kaduna State House governor's house, something like that, too. So, I mean, it's a
Excellencies, I appreciate you all.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Now, the way Ambassador Segun has spoken, many of us will think that maybe he has his background in peace studies or social sciences, and don't know whether Dr. Ajekpe mentioned it. Ambassador Segun Ogunyannwo has his BSc as a mechanical engineer. He trained as a mechanical engineer. That shows that from whatever walk of life we have, from whatever background, if we commit to it, we can become a conflict manager par excellence. So please, let's once again appreciate Ambassador Segun Ogunyannwo for this wonderful session.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm most grateful. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was powerful.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
So
sir.
enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, sir. We are bringing Ambassador Ogunyannwo on the last day to still give us some few remarks. Okay, Dr. Ajekpe, over to you. Hello, Dr. Ajekpe.
Sorry about that. Once again, thank you very much, Ambassador Ogunyannwo. What we have next is a stretch break of 10 minutes. I guess you can still do that. Or Prof, do you want us to go to the next?
Let's do our stretch break, man.
We have 10 minutes break.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, yeah. Please, let's stretch our legs, move around, take our calls. I'll be back at 11:58.
Thank you, Dr. Ife Ajekpe. You are a great woman.
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Same from here.
Thank you, sir.